Hey everyone, it's Varsha from Coaching by Varsha. Welcome to another Dating Coach Reacts. I am going to be reviewing Storytime Tinder Date from Hell, Fire, Fire, Fire. And so please, I'm going to put the captions below. Please follow and like and subscribe to this woman's channel. Let's give her a boost and let me know what your thoughts are. Have you experienced stuff like this? Let's get right into it.
Hey girl, hey, what's going on? It's your girl Chenelle. Welcome back to my channel. All right, y'all. Everything I bring to you guys on this platform is my truth. I don't know if any of you out there have tried online dating, but let me tell you, it ain't for me.
Okay, so whether or not online dating is for you kind of depends on how you're using it. If you are using it so that it works you, yeah, it's not going to be for you because it's going to seem daunting, it's going to seem tiring, it's going to seem like a waste of time. My clients learn to use online dating as a tool and a way to actually just encounter people rather than the way that they must meet their partners. And so there's a big difference in letting it play you versus allowing yourself to play online dating. And ultimately, it doesn't have to be a really daunting experience. It can be a lot of fun. It can be a lot of ease and flow and just connection rather than this like stigma that it tends to have around it.
All my girlfriends were booed up. All my girls had men. They didn't have no time for me. They didn't have time to hang out with me. And I don't have a lot of girlfriends. I don't. I like to keep my circle really small. I have a few friends that I consider like really good friends. I have my best friends and I have friends that can...
Yeah, that can be so daunting, right? When you reach a certain age, a lot of your friends tend to be already matched up with people, and that can cause you to feel alone, of course, and feel like you're a little bit left behind. Of course, it can also mean that you add more pressure on yourself to date whatever comes your way because you want every single thing to work. And so this is a place to really check yourself to make sure that you're dating for you and for what you want and not just because everyone else is hitched, everyone else is doing it. Really take a look and make sure it's not coming from pressure.
I did. I done tried Black Planet. Y'all know Black Planet? I've done tried Black People Meet. That's another story time in itself, okay? And then I tried, what did I try? What was it? Tango? Girl, that's a mess. I tried, and then we went from that to Tinder. So, you know, you're swiping, and I don't really know how Tinder works.
Yeah, so if you are using these dating apps as merely a tool and not for potentially what the vibe is that it's trying to get you to be in, then there is a way to actually make every single one of those things work for you rather than kind of expecting the theme of that app, which I think we all kind of know which apps are associated with what. You don't want to get caught up in that being the meaning or the like definition of what the relationship is that ends up happening between you and a person that you match with on that app. You really want to make sure that you're using it on your terms instead of their terms.
Oh, that good mess. I didn't use my name, of course not, because I never use my name on these things.
Okay, so you're not using your name on this thing, and that's one of the things that actually is causing problems in the online dating scene is that there is a lack of trust and truth. Now, granted, you don't want to give out too much of your personal information, but consider whether somebody is going to actually take you seriously if they learn that you're not really even using your real name when you're actually on a date with them. And to have to clear that up, it just means that your first interaction with them is fake. It's a lie. So just take a look at what that means. Now, I don't mean go put yourself out there and be in unsafe situations. I just mean this relationship has already started with a lie.
Alias, once we start talking, I give you my nickname, okay? I don't give you my government name at all. Sis will go ahead and give you a nickname, but I put a couple of pictures out there so you see what I look like and what, you know, sis is working with.
Also, if you need some support and help in figuring out how to best put your profile together, what pictures to use, what language to use, how to make the most punch in your profile, let me know, DM me, or schedule one of those complimentary discovery sessions so we can have a conversation about these things.
So I'm swiping, I'm seeing who I like, he's swiping, I'm swiping, we're swiping. It's a good time. Saturday night, I'm looking at different people, I'm swiping the ones that I'm not interested in. I'm like, oh, hell no, pass, hell no, pass.
Okay, it's totally okay to be doing this on a Saturday night when you're bored and you have nothing else to do. However, just double check that you're not so bored that you might not be taking it seriously and dating from intention and with intention. So, take a time in your week or in your day to actually choose into looking at profiles so that it's not something you're doing late at night on a Saturday when you're already feeling very like emotional and very sad or lonely. Maybe you've had too much to drink, because what that ends up leading to is sexting or people chatting with you but not taking it seriously because you're there on a Saturday night, and it has a lot of other implications. So really take a look at how you can schedule your like dating as if it were really important to you and not just a pastime.
And then one guy, I swipe, I'm like, okay, he's kind of cute. Let me swipe. So I go ahead and swipe, and long and behold, we are a match. Me and dude is a match. So let's go ahead and call this guy, what are we gonna call him? Nathan. Let's call him Nathan. So me and Nathan swipe on each other. Both of us were a match. So as soon as you become a match, Nathan went ahead and sent me a little DM, like a little message. We're asking each other basic questions. He's telling me he really likes my smile and I'm really pretty. What am I getting into? What are some of my likes and dislikes and all that good stuff, And me and Nathan are going back and forth and we're messaging. Conversation seems good enough. So Nathan decides to ask me, we've been talking for a while. We've been messaging for maybe about 20, 30 minutes, like on and off, obviously, but the conversation has been going consistent. So Nathan goes ahead and asks me for my number. Now I'm thinking, fair enough. He seems pretty cool. He's told me some of his interests, what he likes to do for fun. We kind of share the same things that we like to do. I love movies. He loves movies. He likes good conversation. He's looking for something potentially that could go into something serious. He's just looking for a good time, but, with potential. And I'm Nathan, me and you are on the same page because I'm looking for that too. I'm not looking.
I mean, come on, everyone says that, right? It's okay, like it's fun at this stage, whatever. But yes, she seems a little hesitant to give her number, which I think is totally fine. Let's see what she actually does. But I've said this in every single video. I will emphasize this so much. This is the time to exchange numbers and actually schedule a time to talk. If you end up talking today, it implies maybe over availability. It implies that you don't have anything else going on in your life right now, and it could potentially turn into something that is too fast without, again, the intention of the dating. So I always like to recommend saying something like, oh, it's been so fun chatting. Hey, can we talk tomorrow at this time? Or can we talk on this day at that time? So that there is more of the anticipation, there's more of the scheduling, and you don't seem as eager to jump into something without actually giving it some thought and having it fit into your lifestyle.
Remember, Nathan's cute. From the picture that I see, Nathan is cute, okay? And then his voice, oh my God, it was deep, it was raspy. His voice was just sexy, okay? Like, when he talked, I was like, oh my God. Like, when you start envisioning, I was like, yo, this guy sounds sweet. Like, he's had the kind of voice that you can listen to all night. Like, we've been talking now, this is over time. This is not just the one first conversation. Me and Nathan have been talking. Like, he's been calling me. We've been exchanging text messages. He's writing me every morning, telling me good morning. He'll write me and ask me how my day's going. I'm writing him. He's saying, hey, beautiful, good morning. What's up? How are you? Have yourself a wonderful day. Oh, I've been thinking about you. I can't wait to get off from work so I could talk to you. Nathan is even calling me on his break, okay? We are talking consistently. I'm like, yo, this guy is so sweet. Like, I am like into him. Like, we're talking, and sis, she's into him. She like.
Okay, here's a red flag. Like, this is wonderful. This is a great place to be. These are not hard and fast like rules that I'm saying. These are just coming up to me as I react to this. But what I will say is that sometimes it's really good to nip the texting in the bud by getting on a call. But now this like calling and texting seems regular. And so instead of having it go on and pretend to know and like and even potentially feel like you're falling in love with somebody without knowing the whole like person, without actually having met them, you gotta nip this, what's happening in the bud, so that you can physically meet. Just like go out on a date and really keep it simple and to the point until you can physically meet now, because there are a lot of emotions building up, a lot of assumptions based on what's being said that are not actually factual, merely because of this like ease of communication.
And Nathan goes to me, can we go on a video chat? What? Video chat. Now, Nathan, I'm in bed. I got a bonnet on.
Yeah, this is just like someone saying like, hey, are you free right now to go on a date? This is not something I recommend. Like, it's got to be on your terms. And so in this moment, the answer is like, nope, gotta go. How about this time on this day? Like, really make it so that there is this like build up of expectations based on what works for you. Not because you're trying to play hard to get or because you're trying to be difficult or anything like that, but really from like this is too easy. Like, this is not actually how you respect a person's life and schedule and availability.
I have my pajamas on. You want to talk, like, I don't think I'm camera ready, okay? But, you know, Nathan wants to see me. He thinks I'm beautiful. The conversation was going so good, I didn't want to interrupt it. So I'm like,
he will think you're beautiful tomorrow too, or the day after, whenever you schedule the call. Like, you are so gorgeous. You are so capable. You're a mom. You've got a life. Like, it's great. Give him a chance to actually work for it a little bit.
Yeah, but give me about 5 minutes. So I tell him, call me back in 5 minutes. I just got to go do something quickly for my mom. First of all, I pretended like my mom called me. I'm like, hold on. Yes, mommy? So I pretended like my mom called me, and I told him that to give me 5 minutes and then call me back in 5 minutes. Now, once me and Nathan hung up the phone on each other, sis got up with a hurriness. I took off that bonnet, you know, try to fix up, wash up my face, to look up put up a bit of powder.
Look, I get it. This is normal. Like, don't think that just because I don't think this is the most ideal situation, that I have not been in this situation, or that I don't know that this is what happens. I just think that there are ways to actually not have this be the date from hell by doing things differently, even at this stage of the relationship.
So Nathan was cute. He had really bright eyes, almond-shaped eyes, and he had a really nice smile, and he had a cute little goatee. So Nathan was cute. So I'm feeling Nathan. I'm like, okay, this is good. Like, he's cute. He's liking me. I'm liking him. We're talking. I mean, now me and Nathan are talking for hours. We are talking for hours. We get along well. We get along good. We've talked about everything. We've talked about past relationships. We even gotten into why things didn't work out with our previous partners. Like, he told me the story with his child's mother.
I do love those long conversations like that when you're video chatting or phone call. Like, on a phone call, it can mean such great things. It could be such a great way to connect even before a first date, to really be able to have that like intellectual connection.
He says, I would really like to meet you. If we can meet up, like maybe go on a date. So I told him that I'm a water sign. So he asked me, okay, he said, what would be the perfect date? Now, if any man ever asks you, what is the perfect date? Pay attention, because that is a good ass sign, okay? Nathan asked me.
No, that is not a good sign. That is what people should ask. Like, this seems like a very standard question. And it's a good sign, but it should also be asked.
What is my perfect date? I said, my perfect date would be something like chilled. So I think coffee is a good first date. I don't think movies is a good first date at all. I think something like going out for coffee or going out for a drink, something where you could be a little bit more intimate so you guys could do a lot of talking. I feel like a movie is maybe a second or third date, probably like a third date, but I think like
yeah, movies are kind of boring. You don't get to actually interact with a person. I think they're pretty useless as a date, unless you're like really bored and you're 10 dates in and there's nothing else to do and whatever. But I also think that they've been talking for multiple days now, and they've done this whole video thing for an hour, multiple hours. It could be more of an investment than coffee at this stage. Like, a nice dinner is probably what they could handle, but I'm not sure how intuitive she is as to like actually knowing whether she likes this guy or trusts this guy. That's something that you can only know from your intuition at this point, and she hasn't really shared anything about that.
my U part, I go to Stitches and I buy a cute little outfit because Stitches is my jam. So I go and I buy a cute little outfit from Stitches. And my mom is watching Uriah that night, and I take the bus, okay? The bus. I don't drive. So I take the bus to...
Sounds like a safe thing. Maybe she's planning on drinking. I don't know. Like not having to deal with parking, especially if you're dressed really nice. Makes sense.
See Nathan. Now, from where I live to where he is, it's about a 45-minute to an hour bus ride, okay? Because
now, one other thing I want to say about the clothing. So I love that she went out and picked out new clothes, and it sounds like she's, getting gifts from vendors and stuff, which is great. Consider having a first date outfit for like different things that you might be doing. Something outdoors, something nice for dinner, maybe something that's like an active date, so that you feel really comfortable and you don't have to go out and potentially be in something new that you're not like really comfortable in, or like don't know the nuances of the outfit. Like I know as women, like their dresses sometimes have this or that going for them, and you just want to know, like they say at work, right? You have this like power suit that you show up to interviews with. Same thing for first dates. Like have your outfits down, and that's totally okay to do. And it also just makes you more confident and comfortable, and you're gonna look and feel like sexier. You're gonna look better because you know your outfit.
I gotta take a bus, but I gotta take a train. Like I gotta go to the subway and take a train to get to where I'm going. Like the train is approaching the stop that I'm supposed to get off at, and I know Nathan is going to be meeting me there. I am nervous as hell. Like I'm nervous, okay?
Yeah, this is so normal. I totally remember those feelings of just like, oh my God, we're gonna meet. So in those moments, consider the things that you need to do in order to like slow down your breath, make sure you're not feeling all clammy in your hands, deep breathing, really taking some like water with you or something, maybe some mints to like actually just relax and get present to your like body, so that when you show up, you're not feeling awkward. Because for me, it's often like this out of body sensation when I'm at that nervous level, and you really want to bring yourself back down.
And I feel a tap on my shoulder. So I'm so nervous. So as I'm turning, I look, and there's Nathan. Damn! But Nathan isn't here. Nathan is down there, okay? Sorry.
Oh my gosh. I don't know where this is going yet, but oh my gosh. First of all, a little creepy. Like he seemed a little too close to her before she knew he was going to be that close, but what is this about?
Nathan is not eye level, sis. Nathan is down, like, I'm not looking at Nathan. Okay, let me just say this. I'm 5'4", okay? I'm not that tall. I am only 5'4". But honey, Nathan was not 5'4". Nathan was about 5 feet or even shorter than that. Nathan, oh my God. Where was Nathan? I was looking down at Nathan. Now, keep in mind.
Okay, 5 foot's not that bad for a 5'4". It seems 4 inches, maybe she's in heels. That seems a little more extreme. I just wasn't sure what to expect. I thought it was going to be something way more extreme than that. But I do think that height should have been on a dating profile. And how did that not come up in photographs or in conversation? And I know that when I dated, there were guys who were very self-conscious about their height. And that just has to come out. Like, be truthful in your dating, right? Like, if you are at all self-conscious, because now it's so obvious that he was trying to lure her in by all these other things because he was probably self-conscious about his height and not even mentioning that. What is the point of talking for hours when you're not going to mention some of the most intimate, important things about who you are and your insecurities about dating? Those conversations are meant so that you can actually jump ahead and actually get to know the person more and have these dates go better.
I don't like short men. I really don't. You got to be taller than me. You really do. I know it might sound vain, but you...
Yeah, I mean, okay, I think a lot of women have this thing. Is it vain? Yes, no. I mean, it's okay to have this desire. If we're really talking about the fact that you cannot be physically attracted to this person, then it just doesn't make sense. You're not going to be able to like marry them if that's what you want. But I think to across the board say I'm not interested in short men is a little extreme and limiting.
Be short. Where was this guy that I was talking to? And then it hit me that every time I talked to Nathan on FaceTime, Nathan was sitting down. Nathan had been sitting down, and you know this is really true. Sometimes you're looking at someone's picture and they look tall in their pictures. Nathan was not 5'4". Nathan was short. Like, Nathan...
I do really recommend having full body photos in your dating profiles, and also making sure that you maybe have a picture that shows you doing something like an activity so that the person can have some sort of like range of what you look like that's beyond like a very curated photograph.
Nathan was right here. Nathan must have been right here to me, okay? Like, Nathan was right here. I was literally looking down at Nathan. And in his pictures, he looked a little bit bigger. But Nathan was small. Nathan was small. I was just like...
Why is this even surprising to people anymore? I mean, everybody has a story about someone's profile picture just not living up to what they seem like in person. So, not shocking, but also like, I don't know, in today's day and age, I feel like there's a little bit more sleuthing that can happen beforehand, question asking that can happen beforehand to avoid something like this and not just be super blinded by that initial attraction and the chemistry that's happening. Like, actually think about, who is this person that I'm about to go meet, and ask for more pictures.
Like, I'm shocked. So at this point, I have no other choice but to continue to go on the date because Nathan is still cute.
Well, wait a minute. She did have a choice. She could have said goodbye. I mean, really, she could have. I mean, maybe she's overly nice and didn't want to do that, and I think she's about to say that he's still good looking. Maybe she wants to give him a chance. But remember that at every stage of a date, you have choice. And when you don't feel like you have choice, you know, start thinking about how you're going to get out of there.
Hella feeling good to see me. He loves seeing me. He's like, oh, you're so pretty. Give me a hug. Like, I'm telling you, sis. He literally had to stretch up and hug me. The hug was...
Yeah, totally. I get it. She's not into him physically, and that's fine. But consider, what do you do in these situations? Like, this guy is probably so self-conscious already as well, and he's making an effort to make her feel comfortable. And so start thinking about, in these kinds of moments, what do I need to do to make this person feel comfortable? And like, how can I show a little bit more compassion despite this feeling so that I can make the most? If you're going to choose into this date and not turn right back and get onto that train, then how can you make the most of the experience?
Now, Nathan is really super sweet. This guy had prepared a blanket. He had some wine. He didn't know, I think we had snacks, but he just did the most romantic thing because he listened. He realized that I told him that I love water. I love to be on the beach. I mean, this guy pulled out all stop, but I am just not interested. Nathan, I'm overshadowed by Nathan's, not his looks because he wasn't an ugly guy, but he's lying out on the beach and all I could see is his feet dangling, like his, okay, so
I'm curious as to whether or not this is going to actually get into a date from hell, because just finding this guy unattractive because of his height doesn't seem like a date to hell. I feel like something's about to happen because, yeah, incompatibility physically, I mean, that happens. It's not unusual.
Turns over to kiss me, like he comes close to kiss me, and I turn my cheek. Nathan. I know we've been talking and the conversation has been going good. We've been getting on good, but where did I ever indicate that I wanted to kiss? Like, I am not a first night type of girl kiss. No, I like to kiss, but I don't do the first time meeting you kissing.
This guy probably saw his opportunity with a beautiful woman and was like, you know what, let me just take my shot because I'm curious as to how many of these he actually gets. And maybe he was hoping that she would, fall for it. I'm kind of also wondering, like, those long conversations that she was having with him, like, how deep were they actually? It sounds like they talked about a lot of stuff, but, like, were they connecting by just saying things, or were they actually connecting where she, like, got him and he got her? Because it sounds like they're on completely different pages. Forget about the image thing and her not being able to know his height. Like, he seems way more into her than she is into him thus far, regardless of looks.
to see the time, and I'm like, ooh, I need to check when the bus is coming. And Nathan is saying, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. I really enjoy spending time with you. Let's hang out. And I'm telling him, that's really nice, Nathan, but I got to get back home to my son. You know, I need to go. Now, as we're walking back to the taxi, to the parking lot where the taxis are, Nathan is holding my hands.
You know, this would have been a really great way to nip this in the bud if she had just said, you know what, I didn't really feel it today, like, this is not going anywhere in my opinion, like, thank you so much for this time, and then just, like, tell him you're not interested so that he's not doing these things that make you more uncomfortable.
No, I sucked it up and I was holding his hands as we were walking, and
she's being too nice, and it's potentially leading him on as well.
And we take the cab back to the subway station. And again, Nathan tries to kiss me goodbye. Nathan, buddy, brother.
Yeah, like even after the first time, she should have just said like, hey, I'm not into this in some polite way. And, you know, that way all of this could have just been avoided. I think he really isn't getting the point because she's too nice.
Brother, it's a no. It's a no for me.
But are you actually telling him that?
No for me. So not only did the date not go well because I did not like Nathan, Nathan was not what he never told me his height, and that was one thing that I should have asked. Like, I never asked him his height. But then again, I thought Nathan was gonna be around, 6'1", 6'2", tall. He was dark, so he was cute. But Nathan was right.
Yeah, it's so important to go based off of the facts when you're so early because that chemistry makes you really, really want to pretend that you know everything and it's going to work out and you're like planning your lives together because of all the chemistry, and then you don't actually know any facts. And so, like, remember to actually get the facts before you hang out.
I had to take a detour. Like, it literally took me 2 hours to get home because I couldn't take the subway down to...
This is surprising from her because I feel like she's responsible and that it could have been very easily avoided if she just knew the time of the train. Like, I know he was trying to get her to stay longer, but like, look, ladies, from just a safety standpoint, like, either have the money to take a cab all the way home if you're going to take public transportation like that, or know the schedule and like potentially not be left taking the last one home, and maybe make the second to last one your thing. Now, I don't know what the circumstances are. We're going to hear about it, but I'm kind of surprised coming from her.
I had to take the Scarborough bus. So I had to jump on one bus, from one bus to the next bus. It took me about 4 buses to get home. I kid you not. Do not do online dating. It don't work.
No, don't send that message. That is just not how it always goes, nor does it have to be this way. There is a way to actually use it as a tool and not have it be this like deception thing.
So yeah, that was my story time of the worst.
All right, that is it. So yeah, I do believe that you can use online dating as a wonderful tool to actually work for you if you're willing to do a little bit of the priming and the foundational stuff that's going to get you to feel comfortable going out and actually know the person who's going out. I'd be really curious to know what her gut instincts were telling her and whether she was tuned in at all when she was talking to this guy, or whether it was all of just that fluff after fluff that makes you feel good but doesn't actually tell you anything about the person. So if you got this far into the video, please like and subscribe and let me know what you think. Leave a comment below, and have you had experiences like this? Have you had bad dates? Have you tried Tinder? Where are you at with this? Feel free to schedule a complimentary discovery session. That link is below as well, and make sure to like her video also.